and feel very fortunate to have stories to be able to tell about Reiki that are unique. I've done Reiki with Dr. Oz in the operating room, and I'm currently doing Reiki with Dr. Feldman, who's chief of breast cancer surgery at Columbia Presbyterian Hospital. With his patients, I go to surgery about once a week these days, but I want to discuss with you exactly how the book is flowing. Those are reasons why it's important, I guess, that I was the one who gets to tell these stories about Reiki, because I have worked with these medical doctors, and it's really time for Reiki to break into medicine in a more profound way. The way things are going in the current time for people who have to get these really serious surgeries, it's extremely scary, and to have a Reiki practitioner there makes all the difference in the world. So luckily for me, I have the great and wondrous editor, acquisitions editor, Angela Wicks. Thank you, Angela, for organizing my book in such a wonderful way. So we're going to discuss that now. So here's how the book is organized. There's the foreword by Dr. Mehmet Oz. And so after his foreword, there's an introduction that is a description of me and my life to some degree. And then the first chapter is about Reiki and what might come with it when you become a Reiki practitioner. The different gifts that are awakened through the attunements. There are a lot of different books about Reiki, but my book is more about what happens to you if you're the receiver of Reiki, and what happens to the person who's the practitioner of Reiki. So it's a very intimate and immediate kind of discourse that happens throughout the book. And then the stories start right away in chapter 2, Matters of the Heart. That's where I discuss going to the surgery with Dr. Oz and the client Susanna, and all the things that happened in that initial experience that I had in the operating room. It goes from there to me being invited to join Dr. Oz's research team, which I was part of until it ended. From the time I met Dr. Oz until the research ended, I was part of that team. And because I was on that team, I was on a list of practitioners that brought me into another surgery that I discuss, where the client got a double lung transplant, which is a romance. There's romance in that story. It's an incredible thing that the readers will get to experience. The third chapter is healing the emotions, heartache, grief, and stress. And it covers all these different clients that I've had who have suffered from the loss of a loved one, or heartache because of breakups, things like that, and how Reiki assisted them. Then we go to healing the body, Reiki and professional sports. Here's where I'd like to thank the New York Football Giants for being kind enough to win the Super Bowl in the same year as the release of this book, because it has a chapter about the Giants in it, and we also have a blurb from Charles Way of the New York Giants. So it's just wonderful. Thank you, New York Giants. So, as said, I talk about the Giants and how they responded to Reiki, and then from there we go to the NBA. And the different things that happened. That's a brief description, because I was originally going to be using a person from the NBA who was told that he couldn't do it by the NBA lawyers. So nevertheless, it's well done. And then we go from there to Reiki and cancer treatment. So that's where we meet Dr. Feldman and the different patients who received Reiki and the way in which it really does help them. That is actually, if this book does nothing else, if it can really get Reiki as part of medicine in a more profound way, then we are way ahead of the game. We've done a tremendous thing. These operations that people get in today's world are so traumatizing for the patients. And like I said before, Reiki prevents them from having that kind of trauma. It's a completely different experience for them, as you'll see when you read the book, and as the readers will see as well. And I believe that with all the doctors that are involved in promoting the book, there will be an advancement in the medical community, that Reiki really will be invited in. And then we go to Reiki and Traumatic Events, which is chapter 6. And I have to say, you know, there was a tremendous thing that happened in our city in New York when September 11th came. Those are all the stories about what happened to the rescue and recovery workers and how Reiki helped them and the family members. Then we go from there to healing the mind of PTSD. I personally had PTSD after 9/11. I also have in there an interview with a construction worker, an iron worker, who had PTSD. And then we go into healing the spirit, Reiki and life after death, and then Reiki in the modern world. So Reiki is something that can be used to assist people who have passed over, even, and that's described in that chapter. And then Reiki in the modern world is what you, me, and all of us at Llewellyn are involved with now. We're bringing it to the greater world and where it's really needed. We need more love in the world, and to tell you the truth, Reiki is unconditional, pure love. And so that's about all I have to say. I think I'm running out of time. But it's important to note that all the chapters also have meditations at the end, so the readers will have the opportunity to experience spiritual things as well. So thank you for this opportunity. Happiness to you. Happiness to all of us. And all the best. Thank you. Bye-bye.